Hey, are you stable? Chances are you are if you own a buy embroidery machine from Print Direct US. But the real question is your embroidery stable? If it's not, welcome back to Wednesday Knowledge with Willy. Let's get on with it. The name says it all. Stabilizer is meant to stabilize your fabric when it's not stable enough. Now, when should you use it, and what happens if you don't? But before we get to that, we first need to figure out what stabilizers are out there and which ones are going to be the one you're going to be using mainly for your business. So most likely you're going to be using two types of stabilizers if you're running production. One of them is tearaway and the other one is cutaway. Now, how do you know which one is tearaway and which one is cutaway? Simple. That is tearaway. And well, this is cutaway. A quick pro tip: if you're going to be using cutaway stabilizer, make sure when you're cutting around the stabilizer to not leave little pointy parts because it bothers the skin and your customers might not like that. And two, make sure that you don't cut the fabric because most of the times when you're using cutaway stabilizer, it's because it is a flimsier fabric. You thought I was done? Nope, I have another tip for you. If you are going to be using tearaway stabilizer, you can always double them up if you need a little bit more stability. And it's always going to be easier in the cleanup process because all you do is just tear it off. But wait, because you do have some other stabilizers that you could use when doing production. For example, you have wash away, which dissolves after you do the embroidery. Then you also have iron on, which you would apply it with an iron and it adheres to your fabric. And you also have many other ones. For example, fusible stabilizer, which offers both support and adhesion to the fabric. No-show mesh stabilizer, which is lightweight, thin, and nearly visible. Sticky back stabilizer, which you can just stick it to the fabric and it's easier to hoop. But I'll tell you that sticky part of it, with time, it starts building up on your needles and you could potentially have a lot more thread breaks, so always keep that in mind. You also have fabric stabilizer, which tends to be a lot thicker than your cutaway stabilizer, which you probably want to use those for like bigger designs so you don't have those small registration loss. And last but not least, you also have my arch nemesis.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Which is pre-cut stabilizer. I mean, hey, if it makes your life easier, you want to use them, by all means. But I'm telling you, you're going to save a lot more money if you buy them in a big roll and cut it yourself. Now, I know what you're thinking. Willy, there's a bunch of other stabilizers out there. Why are you not mentioning them? And yes, you are right. There's a ton of other stabilizers that I can talk about. But that's going to take me about 10 minutes to talk about. If you do want me to make a video on that, I can definitely do that for you. Just let me know in the comments below. Now, when should you be using stabilizers and when shouldn't you? And that's very simple. If your fabric is flimsy and thin, you want to use stabilizer. And if it's not and it's structured, then you might not need stabilizer. And I'll give you a great example. I have a dad cap here, and as you can tell, this is very flimsy. So for this hat, I will be using, depending on the design, a cutaway stabilizer. Sometimes, maybe if the design is small, I could get away with one tearaway or maybe even two tearaways. But I'll give you another example. If I have a structured cap like this one here, I'm not going to put any stabilizer because it's already structured enough. And that could be with pretty much any design. But how do you know if you're using the right stabilizer? Think about this. You're using threads, not ink. So when it starts to get stitched, you're going to notice that those stitches are going to be pulling against each other. And if you don't have the right stabilizer or enough stabilizer, you will notice that your fabric will start crumbling up and your design will look wavy, and you're probably gonna have some registration loss. Now don't forget, when you purchase a buy embroidery machine from Print Direct US, you're gonna have a training just like this, either via FaceTime, or if you want me to personally go to your location and train you, we also offer that. Just let us know in the comments below. And not only that, because if you purchase from us, you have lifetime US training and technical support. So as long as you own your machine, you can count on us. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.